Good morning. I'm David B. Wolf, Executive Director of Samaritan Ministry of Greater Washington, and I'm delighted that you're joining us for our first ever virtual Next Step breakfast, wherever and whenever you are. I'm especially delighted if you are hearing about Samaritan Ministry this morning for the first time to learn what we do and how we do it. Why? Because Samaritan Ministry loves learners. We love people willing to participate in their own change, their own growth and development, or people lost inside themselves who can't find a way out, or people seeking a meaningful job and an affordable home. All people who, from the gospel story of the Good Samaritan, are stuck in the ditch of life and just need a hand up. That ditch may come from a bad break, a bad choice, bad public policy, the socioeconomic segregation of Greater Washington, or all of the above. But none of that matters when a participant sits down with a Samaritan caseworker. Then the only questions that matter are, if you want your life to improve, what would that look like? Are you ready for change, and will you participate in that change by accepting the coaching required to set goals and then take the necessary next steps to meet those goals? If the answer is yes to all those confronting questions, then our staff will give you all the coaching, all the support, and all the follow-up you need for as long as you need it. The hand up, just because you said yes. Now, I say you, and some of you are thinking, he doesn't mean me, he means the participants, those clients who are stuck in the ditch. But who are we kidding? Who among us has not been stuck at one time or another? Virtually, raise your hand if you have ever been stuck at one time or another. You see, what our participants receive in the Next Step program is what we all need to receive. We call it rigorous compassion, but it's really two things. On the one hand, support and encouragement, and on the other hand, challenge and accountability. It's what our spouse or our coach or our colleague or our best friend says that we would rather not hear sometimes. It's the truth in love. Rigorous compassion is a gift from someone we trust that empowers us to grow. And Samaritan Ministry offers that gift to folks who typically have no trustworthy person in their life to offer it. That is, until they walk through our doors. And now with Strive Job Readiness Training and 5 locations, including our presence at the Skyland Workforce Center in DC's Ward 7, we see more folks than ever, especially the underemployed and unemployed, returning citizens, and those living with AIDS. Please give a listen in the next segment of our virtual breakfast, where Antoinette Green, a Next Step participant from our office in Skyland Ward 7, tells her story of taking full advantage of a Samaritan hand up. Antoinette's determination and discipline that her life be professionally significant, even as a single parent who had once been on the street, combined with rigorous coaching from the Strive training team, empowered her to not only find sustainable employment, but also to quickly climb the ladder of hotel management. But there's another important ingredient to Samaritan's human empowerment recipe. When we invite a participant into the Next Step program, we also invite ourselves. A quote that has been on my office door in our main office since our earliest day reads as follows: "If you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come because your liberation is bound up in mine, then let us work together. Over 33 years later, that wisdom still speaks to who we are and the change work that we're all about as we practice partnership on all levels. Samaritan Ministry wasn't founded to help people with a handout, but to participate in their liberation, with the implied invitation that they would participate in ours. This demands a level of personal investment, passion, and vulnerability not found in many places. But Samaritan Ministry isn't just any place. We're a pioneer nonprofit in a metropolitan area struggling with an ever-widening gap between rich and poor, between those of us who do very well and those of us who are just trying to get a toehold on a steep economic slope. We rely heavily on volunteers because we believe in mutual empowerment, in a community partnership where everyone experiences for themselves the change that they want to see in the world. Following Antoinette's segment, please take a listen to Gloria Ducker, a passionate volunteer in our Anacostia office, who also is doing outreach for the Strive training course. She will testify to how the work has shaped her as a person, indeed how her individualized change work with participants has motivated her to be an advocate for community change. So when we speak of community partnership, we are speaking of how we cultivate change in ourselves and in our community at large. Our partnership is really a community of communities that includes over 250 volunteers and 75 partner churches, schools, and service providers throughout Greater Washington. This is a truly collaborative network, fully empowered to make a difference in the lives of our neighbors who simply need a hand up. Just a few years ago, this collaboration gave rise to a new vision that continues to push our mission of empowerment to the next level, a level where a participant can connect with Samaritan virtually anywhere in the region, a level where our Strive workforce readiness training results not just in job acquisition, but in long-term job retention, a level where we connect chronically homeless adults with affordable, permanent housing, and a level where our partners are engaged not just in offering their time, talent, and treasure to support individual change work, but also are collectively invested in a mission of community change, one that includes dismantling the systems and structures that allow poverty to prosper. Where are we? We're not even halfway, but the best is yet to come. And the results are adding up. 1, increased participant accessibility at 5 diverse locations with more in the works. 2, expanded employment options through Strive job readiness training, including hard skills training and placement of virtually all graduates within 3 months of course completion. 3, a growing collaboration with other nonprofits at the Skyland Workforce Center in DC's Ward 7. And while there is more to come, Next Step participants already have more options than ever before. This is a challenge, but we know we have a winning formula. Rigorously compassionate coaching, plus the essential training tools, plus access to opportunity equals the hand up that our participants need in this overpriced, underpaid environment that we call Greater Washington. While our work inspires, I find our recipe to be the most inspiring because it reminds me that my liberation is found in welcoming the stranger who is really our neighbor in disguise, temporarily stuck in life's ditch. So inspired by the testimonies of Antoinette and Gloria, I invite you to consider what you can offer from your time, talent, and treasure this morning. But also consider the possibility that by your offering, you will grow in ways that you could never ask for or imagine. And what greater gift could you receive as you offer yours? Thank you for being the gifts that you are to each other, but especially to our would-be neighbor stuck in life's ditch, who is you and me. Thank you for listening.